Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shingeki no Kyojin Season 3, or you could call it Attack on Titan Season 3 on Episode 2. This episode right here was actually action-packed, not to mention situations where you just gotta do what you gotta do in order to progress or to save humanity, possibly. Well, if you guys watch the episode, you may get the idea. If you hear something from me like this, you may be very confused and go like, what the hell are you talking about? Aside from that, let's just get this started. We had to it that Levi clashes against Kenny, well, only for a little bit, by throwing a blade at him to escape. And apparently Levi is literally dodging bullets everywhere from Kenny's squad members that's trying to kill him. But Levi managed to escape with a scratch on his forehead and takes refuge at a bar. Eventually, after a small talk between Levi and Kenny, we have to it that Levi takes advantage of this, of using a gun that the barkeeper kept, and then manages to make a fool's target of a chair and makes his escape, but not before killing some of Kenny's subordinates that got in his way. And we see to it that eventually Mikasa and the others are trying to go save Eren and Historia. And we see to it that Eren and Historia does get kidnapped by being tranquilized, apparently, and they all get knocked out. As for the royal corrupted government meeting, they end up getting news that the, that Eren and Historia are already in their hands, so there's no need to take action right now. And eventually there was a scene between Niles and Irvin about the corrupted government system here and there, what you gotta do, etc. And we see to it that things were still getting a little tense, because we see to it that John gets saved by Armin when Armin killed someone, well, a human being. Jean, on the other hand, hesitated for a bit after pinning down one of Kenny's squad members when they were taking the wagon that Eren and Historia were on, but Armin saved them in the nick of time by shooting her in the head. Of course, Armin was really upset about this and really does not really enjoy this fact, you know? Although Levi tells Armin, you gotta man up right now. You can't go back after you stained your hands with blood. You had to accept the new you. Let me also tell you something. There's nothing wrong with having you saving your comrade when you killed someone. That is the true fact. If you have not pulled that trigger or killed someone, then Jean would not be here by now. Therefore, Levi encourages Armin to accept what he is now and not have any regrets. And we see to it that Levi, on the other hand, ends up having to talk to the man called Reeves Company or something, and he makes a deal with him if he helps him out. Eventually, we get some news from Hanji telling to Irvin that Eren and Historia are kidnapped, and we have to figure out something now and quick, because if things do not go very well, Eren will get eaten. And then there's a scene switch to where Reeves takes two military police brigade members to a location in the forest where Levi and the others apprehended them, with the help of Reeves, of course. And we see to it that they tortured the guy to get information out of him, you know? The guy who killed the priest, Nicholas, I believe. That's the guy's name. I don't know. But aside from that, we get to see to it that eventually the guy ends up having a talk for a bit about the first interior squad dirty their hands to protect the peace. And this goes on by having to possibly kill a teacher or torture him for being way too smart or something, you know? And a stupid couple who tried to fly. And we see to it that they even killed some kind of freaking whore from some ranch in the sticks or something. And that he all freaking bragging says, you should thank us because all these things were justified. You guys are monsters. I'm thinking in my mind, you just killed innocent lives right now. One with knowledge, one that's a whore from a ranch, and then one that wants to fly, a couple that wants to fly. Don't go saying that that Levi and Hanji are monsters when they tortured you while you thinking that you're human yourself. I mean, you killing innocent lives is really bad enough, and I don't care what the situation is. You are a monster too. So it takes one to know. It takes one to meet one to know one. whatever that saying is. And we see to it that that one guy apparently is forced to say something, you know? Well, thanks to Levi and Hanji telling him to say this thing here and there to possibly make that guy Sanders or whatever that guy's name, which I don't really care about honestly, to talk. Eventually, the guy ends up having to read what's written on the paper, and they end up about to torture the guy again. But eventually, he let his tongue slip at long last and says, "Rest is the true royal family." That's all I'm telling you right now. And we see to it that Reeves apparently gets killed by Kenny when he realizes that this guy actually sold his friends out. Not to mention Reeves' son, who apparently was hidden, apparently manages to get away. And we see to it that we get information from Levi and Hanji telling to the Levi squad that the true royal successor is actually the Rest family, which is Historia. And we see to it that Eren and Historia are likely wherever Ross' race is. And we see to it that they get a picture of him of what he looks like, and this is what he looks like, etc. And we see to it that Rod ends up hugging Historia and says, "I'm so sorry for everything. Forgive me. I'm so sorry." And the episode ends up with Eren looking into the distance all gagged up or something, or possibly knocked out. But aside from that, the ending of Attack on Titan was actually pretty cool. Speaking of which, preview next episode, it looks like to me we're going to get more information involving what is to come. Apparently, it's about a girl's past, etc. It's a secret big enough to actually change the entire kingdom. And not to mention, like, once the secret is known to Irvin, he remembers it a past of his own. And the next preview, next episode is known to be called The Old Story. So pretty much overall in the recap of this episode, without a lot of detail, it's just Levi and his squad takes on Kenny and his squad members, but they were unable to save Eren and Historia thanks to some cooperation from Reeves himself. They end up having to get information from a military brigade policeman and figure out that Historia is the true royal blood to the entire country of the walls or something, or the entire area of the walls, however you want to call it. Aside from that, yeah, preview next episode, An Old Story. Don't know what's really bound to happen next, but one thing was sure, it's really starting to be a little crazy here and now, because Kenny's squad, we all know what his reputation is. He is one dangerous motherfucker, dude, that's for sure. So until then, I will see you guys in the next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot!